Hi, everybody. This is Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, which is being pre recorded. We watch old 16mm films, but right now I am traveling to Charlotte to see some bands that I want to see. I'm going to go see Devo, B 52s, and Nina Hagen. So, very excited about that. Anywho, I still want to show you films, and I got some lined up. I've been working with the Prelinger Archive. They've been scanning a bunch of films, and so we're going to watch, I think, 3 films from here. One is Science News Volume 1, which is a newsreel program with various news items that have kind of a science topic to them. The next is a home movie that has narration in it. So basically it was narrated after the fact, and it has titles. It's very well produced. It's called All Aboard for California. So it's pretty fun. And then finally, The Carters Meet the Computer. This is a film by I believe it's the Department of Labor. Yes. And it's about, I don't know what it's about. I'm really trying to figure it out. It looks like it's a silent. They make it look like it's an old silent film. It's a mess. It is a big mess. Like there's intertitles. There's kind of not a Chaplin-esque character, but there is some sort of character. And it has this music soundtrack to it. It's a mess. So, and we're not allowed to see it. We're not supposed to be able to see it. There's actually a thing that says not for public, not intended for the public. So I don't know what this is all about, but we have to show it to you. You have to watch it. But if you like what you saw, or at least like the idea of what we're doing, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. You can donate via the super thanks button. And we will see you on Monday. That might also be a pre-recorded show, but because I'll be in the mountains. But we'll have more stuff for you to watch. All right. Enjoy. Take care.
At Oak. A chain of 40 tiny coral islands surrounding a lagoon is Enewetak Atoll in mid-Pacific, part of the Marshall Islands freed from Japan in World War II. Now historic films made in the spring of 1948 and just released show Enewetak preparing for heavily guarded and still largely secret tests of new atomic weapons. The test's purpose is to measure atomic effects on thousands of different materials, 30,000 tons of them, not, as at Bikini, to prove military effectiveness. In special towers, automatic cameras will record the explosions. There are no newsmen, no foreign observers present, as members of the 10,000-man Task Force T leave shore for safety just before the explosion of America's 6th atom bomb at Enewetak, now the Atomic Energy Commission's permanent proving ground. Robot planes take off for atmospheric measurements. The bombs will not be dropped from the air. At control stations, all is ready. Now. This is bomb number 6, a new atomic weapon, not an improvement of an old design. The 5 bombs set off in New Mexico, over Japan, and at Bikini are, in scientific terms, already ancient history. The flash of bomb number 6 is seen by shipboard observers. And here is bomb number 7. Seen from a different angle, its death-dealing radioactive cloud spreads for miles above the Pacific. This is bomb number 8. Enewitoc Atoll, the world's mightiest agent of destruction, presents its unspoken and unanswerable argument for peace and for preparedness.
In the Egyptian Red Sea Peninsula of Sinai, where hallowed belief says that Moses received the Ten Commandments, is the ancient monastery of St. Catherine, whose Greek Orthodox monks follow an austere and penitential life, unchanged since the days of the Desert Fathers. In their library are thousands of rare handwritten documents, many of them unread for centuries. Some of them are believed to be portions of sacred scriptures long lost to the world. Now, American experts in their study of these revered manuscripts are examining and photographing one by one 2 million parchment pages in Hebrew, Greek, Latin, Arabic, Aramaic, and other ancient languages. Because of the monks' care, many pages are as fresh and clear as the day they were written. Among the many treasures is a scroll the monks believe is in the hand of the prophet Mohammed. It is documents like this which American scientists are rescuing from the obscurity of the centuries. It's milking time at this ultra-modern dairy in Delano, California, and these cows are heading for the barn. A lukewarm spray stimulates milk hormones before the cows move onto a conveyor line, where they will be fed and milked at the same time. The conveyor, the invention of dairyman H.C. Kane, is the latest addition for subtracting milk. A milkmaid attaches standard milking equipment. The rolling line speeds the cows through at 10 feet per minute. The job is done in 7 minutes, and every 35 seconds another cow steps into line. Less than an hour is needed to milk a herd of 100 cows. The milk is next processed and bottled. American inventiveness sets up a real production line on the farm.
A collection of 150,000 original models from the U.S. Patent Office is sold in New York. This 1876 children's doorway swing, like this scale, which printed both weights and prices, never succeeded, but the washboard became famous all over the world. This chair bed was designed for crowded living quarters. A cabinet bed is a similar idea. The inventor was ahead of his times, for double-purpose furniture is increasingly popular today. Roller skates are pretty much the same in our streamlined age, but this washing machine, invented in 1866, is a far cry from today's push-button wonders. A spark catcher smokestack to prevent forest fires, and a modern-looking steamer chair. It's a pity for future collectors that the Patent Office no longer requires working models. At Tulane University, Professor Lo Sang Tsai introduces his cooperation machine, designed for a unique experiment in animal relations. Looks complicated? It's really very simple. Into the first compartment go Joe the rat and George the cat. Tradition says they're enemies, but Dr. Tsai has brought them up together from childhood and they love each other, especially since they've learned through experience that neither of them can eat unless he cooperates with the other. Those two floor plates must be pushed at the same time in order to get at the food. What teamwork and what appetites. Now the two animals are separated. So Joe the rat, by stepping on another floor plate, lets George the cat into his compartment. Watch them push those food buttons. See, it's easy. Dr. Tsai believes that if these natural enemies can work together, then people should be able to cooperate even better. And these happy cats and rats really prove his point.
Tennessee, in the mammoth city built by the government to produce the atomic bomb, American scientists are now working also to use atomic byproducts for medical purposes. The laboratories are still guarded against intruders. Inside, behind protective walls, technicians use wheels and dials to handle radioactive iodine, an important locator of cancerous tissues. Even the camera has to peer through telescopes at the dangerous atomic byproducts. A selection of a few drops of precious radioactive iodine is picked up by remote control and transferred to a shipping bottle. Intricate machinery will now carry the bottle down a lead-lined corridor to the packaging room for shipment to a research center. A specially designed heavy lead shipping case is used. The case is checked with a Geiger counter to make sure that no dangerous atomic rays can escape. The case is weighed, and a final warning is pasted on it. At a medical research center, the death-dealing iodine will be used to prolong life. Because iodines find their way to thyroid cancer tissues, radioactive iodines can be used to locate such areas. The patient drinks a highly diluted solution of the radioactive iodine, which gradually becomes concentrated in the cancerous tissue. A Geiger counter reveals the location, increasing the chances of effective treatment. Explosions rock Sicily's mighty Mount Etna, shooting flames high into the air and spewing forth a burning stream of lava. The villagers living on its heaving slopes watch the boiling river of molten rock move toward their homes. The volcano erupts periodically every 6 years, but the present explosion is the worst since the 1920s. Terrified peasants gather together their belongings and flee. The onrushing stream of lava is 20 feet deep and almost half a mile wide. A religious procession from one of the villages in the lava's path goes forth to pray for deliverance, hoping that divine intervention will save them from the angry mountain.
Overlooking the city of Washington is the legislative center of American life, the U.S. Capitol. As our country faces important challenges at home and abroad, the new 82nd Congress convenes. It shows many changes among both Republicans and Democrats. New faces include Democratic Senators Clements of Kentucky, Smith of North Carolina, Hennings of Missouri, Pastore, Rhode Island, Monroney, Oklahoma, Smathers of Florida. Senator Russell Long of Louisiana and veteran Tom Connolly of Texas, Senate Foreign Relations Chairman. Ernest W. McFarland of Arizona is the new Senate Majority Leader. Senator Lyndon Johnson of Texas is Senate Whip. House leaders are Majority Leader McCormick of Massachusetts, Speaker Rayburn of Texas, and J. Percy Priest of Tennessee, House Whip. New Republican senators are Carlson of Kansas, Dirksen of Illinois, and Butler of Maryland. Carlson, 12 years a representative, now a freshman senator. Former Congressman Dirksen defeated Senate Majority Leader Lucas. Butler upset veteran Millard Tidings. Top Republican Senators Milliken of Colorado, Taft of Ohio, and Wherry of Nebraska now lead a party which has cut the Democratic Senate majority to only 2 votes. The workshop of these men, the Capitol building, has, since Washington laid the cornerstone in 1793, been continually rebuilt and repaired to meet the needs of a growing democracy. Last year, Congress moved out for the latest repairs. The work is complete as the 82nd Congress convenes in 1951. Speaker of the House Sam Rayburn and Republican House Leader Joseph W. Martin open the new session. Rayburn, whom fellow congressmen of both parties hold in highest esteem, takes office as Speaker. Now in his 20th term in Congress, Mr. Rayburn enters his 6th term as Speaker of the House, breaking the record set in 1825 by Henry Clay. With the reinforced Republican minority changing the voting lineup, the House chamber itself also has a new look. But the famous portrait of Washington and the Webster plaque, familiar to tourists, are still there. President Truman makes his first appearance in the completely refurbished chamber of the House. Before a joint session of Congress, he delivers his annual State of the Union address. The president asks for strength and unity at home and abroad as he speaks from the rebuilt stand, noticeably different from the great white marble rostrum from which he last addressed Congress. In its brave new surroundings, the 82nd Congress buckles down to strengthen the nation under law for peace or war. A traditional treat for the physics students at the University of Toronto is Professor John Satterley's annual lecture on the properties of liquid air. Professor Satterley, 70, head of the university's physics department, is near retirement, but his science circus, famed throughout Canada, is as exciting as ever. Here's the subject: air turned into liquid at a 300 below zero temperature. That's mighty cool, but the good professor doesn't mind at all. He's been doing this sort of thing for a generation, and he's still at least as spry as any of his pupils. The demonstration begins innocently enough with the professor dropping a few odd objects, a banana, an egg, and so on, into the super frigid liquid air. He prefers fresh eggs. Now a couple of daffodils from the professor's garden, followed by a chunk of rubber tubing. Though the accent is on fun, there's a straightforward scientific reason for each move. This contraption is designed to show the pressure possibilities of liquid air. When the liquid air grows warmer and becomes a gas again, it expands rapidly, a fact which delights the professor and which he doesn't want his class to forget. Now the liquid air is expanding and blowing up the balloon. Now let's see those daffodils. And here's the rubber tube. Shatters like glass. Very interesting, Professor, but what about that balloon? When the professor turns to pyrotechnics, things really get wild. An open jar of liquid air gradually becomes almost pure oxygen and highly inflammable. It's rugged playing professor of physics as John Satterley plays it, but Toronto students generally remember what he's taught them. What's this, a flying jeep? No, it's a submarine one. At Marineland, Florida, the Army's jack of all trades goes underwater, and news magazine cameras go along with it. The jeep's motor breathes through a snorkel snorter extension, whose ingenious valve system keeps water out, but lets air in and releases the exhaust. These tests have a practical purpose. All new Army Jeeps will have waterproof engines and ignition systems to run through water up to their windshields. Trucks, too, go underwater. At nearby Rainbow Springs, Florida, the new Army Ordnance truck, the Rio Eager Beaver, takes to water like a duck. The driver breathes with an underwater lung, and the truck's motor, like the Jeep's, uses the same snorkel snorter arrangement to keep going underwater. The 2.5-ton truck, officially called the M34, has been designed for heavy-duty work, including submersion. It can stay underwater for as long as 4 hours with the motor running. It'll be especially useful in amphibious landings and river crossings, as in Korea. Oops, where'd all that water come from? Some railroads go from coast to coast, but this one, although it's in perfect operating order, never gets away from home. It's the Union Connecting Railroad, probably the largest zero-gauge model railroad in the world. The UCRR is owned and operated by the New York Society of Model Engineers. The society includes doctors, lawyers, advertising men, almost everybody except railroad men. They've been working on the system for 25 years, and they don't call it finished yet. It takes 100 man-hours of work for each foot of track. The UCRR, on a scale of 1/4 of an inch to a foot, duplicates actual railroad operations, even to round tables and hand cars. Part of our history and of our daily lives, railroading has a powerful lure for most Americans. In these unassuming buildings at Chalk River, set in a corner of the Ontario bush country, some of Canada's top scientists are bombarding the atom in a $5 million atomic pile, the most powerful of its kind in the world. Inside a huge concrete cylinder, billions of neutrons move at speeds up to 10,000 miles per second, producing new materials that even now are radically changing the 20th century world. One such product is the cobalt-60 isotope, on which Chalk River Administrator Dr. D.A. Keyes and his assistants are working. The cobalt-60 isotope is an important factor in peacetime radiography for X-ray pictures and studies of the sun, and the Chalk River plant is the only one which can produce such cobalt. Much of this work, of course, is secret and cannot be photographed. Although the plant can be converted to war needs and has helped speed the H-bomb in American plants, the Chalk River atomic pile is planned for peace, producing aids to agriculture, medicine, science, and industry. Their significance almost forgotten in the memories of man are the mute, mysterious wrecks of past civilizations. This is Baalbek, a magnificent ruin in southern Syria, more than 20 centuries ago as important and sophisticated a metropolis as are New York and Paris today. The temples of Baalbek are a riddle to scholars from the modern mechanized world. Today, no one really knows what engineering techniques put these stately buildings together. Some of their single blocks of stone weigh as much as 200 tons. Baalbek's origin is unknown. Baal, to whom the whole city was a monument, was a mysterious deity of the Near East associated with the sun. The Bible contains denunciations by Hebrew priests and prophets of the idolatry of Baal and his lesser gods. When the Romans conquered Syria, they took over Baalbek's gods, giving them Latin names and developing the great temples. Arabs, Egyptians, Crusaders, Mongols, and Turks besieged and pillaged the city. Its temples became Christian, Mohammedan, then pagan again. Finally, ravaged by an earthquake, Baalbek was abandoned. Its remaining inhabitants, having long forgotten the skills of their ancestors, moved into mud huts, leaving Baalbek, her gold and jewels looted, her altars shattered, to stand solitary and forlorn, her crumbling magnificence an object of wonder and mystery to the traveler and the scholar.
At Climax, Colorado is the world's highest observatory. Here, 11,000 feet above sea level, Dr. Walter Orr Roberts and Mrs. Roberts ski to their unique job of probing the cosmic unknown. In this Harvard College observatory, Dr. Roberts studies the sun's surface with the aid of a coronagraph, one of 3 in the world. The coronagraph, by imitating an eclipse of the sun, makes visible the sun's edges, normally unobservable. Through its use, the quality of radio reception, greatly affected by sun disturbances, can be forecast. Amazing motion pictures photographed through the coronagraph by the McMath-Hulbert process show the violent motion of tremendous solar upheavals called prominences. Crimson-hued clouds of gas rise to a height of 100,000 miles. With the face of the sun blocked out by the coronagraph, tremendous erupting arches are clearly seen. Scientists work to unravel the mystery of the sun and its influence upon the lives of us all. White Sands, New Mexico, special movie cameras are fitted on the side of a rocket as Army and civilian scientists photograph the Earth from the highest altitudes ever attempted. These amazing pictures of the Earth are taken as the rocket shoots upward at 4,000 miles an hour with unbelievable smoothness. At 75 miles, the camera can see 1 million square miles of the Earth's surface. The river is the Rio Grande. El Paso lies by the bend in the center. At a record altitude of 135 miles, another camera shooting through a circular aperture shows 24 states at once. Its fuel exhausted and trailing smoke, the 5.5-ton rocket begins a dizzily spinning spiral descent, and the camera catches a weird panorama. Such experiments foreshadow new horizons of science, new modes of travel, new information about the stratosphere, and a new view of the world in which we live.
It took weeks and sometimes even months to travel west. Now we can glide through the air with the greatest of ease and enjoy the view as well in a matter of hours. As we gaze on the glorious Rocky Mountains and encompass the scenery and urban cities below, it isn't long before we arrive in California, when we pass over the Death Valley area and circle over the sprawling suburbia of Los Angeles. Michigan SAC members zoom down the airstrip and anxiously await to attend the 13th annual SAC convention aboard Queen Mary. Our first stop, Hollywood, motion picture capital of the world, and a name that has become synonymous with extravagant entertainment. Is not a city, but just a district of the city of Los Angeles, with a population that varies according to the definition of how far it extends. Homes are built everywhere, even on hillsides. The higher, the more expensive. Hollywood probably attracts more types of nationalities than any city of its size in the world. Here are nobility, ex-nobility, the pseudo-nobility of a dozen countries, the artistically inclined from every corner of the world who aspire to movie jobs, and the average Americans who live here because they like the climate or else were born here. About 75% of the population is connected with the motion picture industry. California's freeway and expressway system can justifiably be called one of the wonders of the modern world. Below, Highland Avenue leads us to the famous Hollywood Boulevard, the center business district, which is 8 miles from Los Angeles and 12 miles from the coast. On Hollywood Boulevard, we can see the famous Chinese theater, previously known as Grauman's, now under new management, the Mann's. It's a spectacular adaptation of the Chinese style of architecture designed by Meyer and Haller. Concrete slabs in front of the courtyard reveal hand, footprints, and messages of the stars, the scene of Hollywood's major premieres, where actors and movie moguls attend opening performances of new films with the ballyhoo of searchlights and floodlights, microphones and loudspeakers, and roped-off aisles covered with carpet. Hollywood Boulevard, known sometime as the Avenue of the Stars, has new stars inset with bronze names of entertainment celebrities, continually added each month to the charcoal-colored terrazzo sidewalks. La Brea discoveries had been made in Hancock Park area located right in Hollywood's busy metropolis. This very spot once was the part of a series of pools of sticky oil and tar, which continually bubbles and blisters and explodes like conical bells and exhales a pitchy smell. A family group of imperial mammoths have come to drink and splash and shower themselves with trunks full of water. A closer look reveals black asphalt soaked into the surrounding soil and underlying the water. The asphalt from the underground oil deposit is pushed about as natural gas rises to escape through the bubbles rising to the surface of water. An astonishing and frightful aspect when these animals begin to sink into the sticky mass, and when they try to escape were unable to do so because their feet were stuck and the lake swallowed them. For thousands of years, mammals and birds were caught in this death trap of the ages. Thus, the oil and asphalt have preserved these skeletons, making possible their reconstruction from over 100 tons of recovered fossil bones. After many attempts to raise money for a museum, finally in 1972, George C. Page, a fine and generous man, realizes a lifelong dream by offering to build such a museum. A modern building has been constructed partially underground in form of a donut to save the park atmosphere. Another unique feature is the imprint on the architecture. In addition to the landscaping, the exhibits, and the generally evocative mood of the new science structure in Hancock Park to house the La Brea fossils from its own backyard, just a few feet from where they were originally trapped in the bubbling, sticky asphalt. A climb to the top of the mound reveals the inner atrium that is enclosed by the museum, whose garden with surrounding trees and cascading waterfall is crisscrossed with the shade patterns of the protective grid which covers it. Many vociferous opponents argued that their green belt was being destroyed if the Page Museum was allowed to proceed. Instead, it has been added to by the grassy mound that conceals the body of the museum underground, topped by the see-through structural steel frieze that both tells the La Brea story and gives majesty to the structure. The best-known paleontological area in California and one of the richest in the world is La Brea Pits in Los Angeles County. Universal Studios is located between Hollywood and the San Fernando Valley. It is the third largest tourist attraction in the world. Last year, 3.8 million tourists took the tour or crammed the studio amphitheater. There are no thrill rides per se on the tour. The big kick for tourists is being on the inside, seeing the techniques and special effects that make movies tick. On peak days, some 27,000 visitors take the tour, highlight of which is the tram ride that covers most of the lot. An admission charge of $8.75 for adults and $6.75 for children apparently doesn't discourage anyone. On busy days, the gates are closed to thousands of persons due to limited parking facilities. The Universal Tour is a wonder in its own right. It entertains millions of tourists without disrupting production of motion pictures and television shows, many of which are filmed on the back lot in view of the crowded trams that ply studio streets. But, curiously, tourists aren't as interested in seeing stars in the flesh as they are in the mystery and magic of movie making itself. At first, some executives were concerned that revealing secrets of movie making would hurt the box office. It's just the opposite. People are stimulated to see more movies. Our guide rounds up the tram riders to follow her through State Set 30. We walk by the Bionic Woman's apartment as seen on the $6 Million Man TV series. However, due to the fact that the musicians were on strike, No shows were being filmed for us to enjoy. In lieu of watching, we could participate by taking a screen test and become an instant star in the movie Airport. Films are not taken in the middle of the ocean as it looks, but right here on a stage set, and the background blended in with superimposed slides for actual movie effects background. A 5-hour tram ride takes visitors over a collapsing bridge, which reassembles itself back together again just as soon as we make a U-turn and is ready for the next tram tourists. We continue to travel along to an area that has old stage sets set up for tourist amusement. We are trying to decide which stage set to film, whether the moving background in a stationary car, as in the scene from the train robbery, or Lily Tomlin's oversized telephone from the Shrunken Woman movie. He decides to pick up a truck and take it home. Wouldn't you know, he got caught already. And here's a producer, director, and actor getting ready for jailbreak. Have you any idea how tough it is to bend steel bars? In Hollywood, these are a cinch, being made from synthetic. Now for a getaway. A chariot, but no horsepower. Got a thumb a ride. The 30 trams, each with a capacity of 120 passengers, went through western towns, European, colonial, and New York streets, and past a burning house. Universal has an enormous inventory supply of props, stage sets including a jet plane, showboat frontage only set up by a shoreline, and warehouses full of furniture, paintings, decorations, cars, and wardrobes of clothing from head to toe, which they maintain and use over and over whenever they can. At this waterfront, the special effects were set up for Moses to cross the Red Sea. As we approach the shoreline, water is drained away, the sides form a dam, and our tram actually proceeds right through the same path taken by Charles Heston. We continue to be fascinated by all the movie gimmickry when suddenly we see the fins of a shark glide across the lake and witness a hairy encounter with Bruce from Jaws. Time out for comparing notes, shopping, and lunch break. Well, we really didn't want to go shopping in there anyhow, at least not with our tripods. We even caught a glimpse of Ceylon going on a coffee break. Universal has 4 fast food centers on the tour right now. This is the second day opening of the Wumhoppers restaurant, specializing in Western steaks and chops. Across the circle is the famous Victoria Station and a huge Chinese restaurant to keep up with the demand. Busiest spots on the tour are the entertainment center arenas. Trainers feature birds and animals trained for films. The trainer commands the bird to fly through hoops and then fly back and fly up higher and higher. A tourist volunteer places a dollar bill folded in the palm of his extended hand, and the trainer commands the bird to fly and pick up the bill and bring it to the trainer. Thank you. Now, who has a $10 bill? Boomer from the movie Benji captivates the audience with his tricks. The trainer asks the boy to tell Boomer to fetch something for him. Boomer, what did you bring? Are you sure? He asked for a bra. Naughty, naughty. The trainer proceeds to give vocal commands to Boomer as they are required for a particular movie. Good dog. Now mail a letter, then go to your doghouse. We came upon an old western city. The western show has stuntmen falling off buildings with plenty of gunplay, besides very realistic scenes of whipping and fighting with wooden sticks and sharp knives. Perhaps most elaborate and impressive of tour's attractions is the latest edition, Castle Dracula, the interior of a moldy and classic castle straight out of Transylvania. Mechanical bats, zombies, wolves, and other creatures of the night are the supporting cast for the Mummy, Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, Frankenstein, the Incredible Hulk, and Count Dracula himself. Castle Dracula was conceived to demonstrate Hollywood's ability to terrorize and horrify movie audiences. It sends chills up the spines of old and young alike. Can you imagine Don Giovanni opera being performed in Castle Dracula?
Eccola! Ahimè! Cos'hai? Che cielo questo mai? Vedi di cacciarmi nell'ultimo momento. Oh, io non mi pento nell'80 vedi di scendere. Oh, faccia tua! Venti di sì.
It's the end of the line and time to claim our luggage. Universal provided 5 colorful shows and 9 major special effects productions, most of which are based on our studio, films, and shows. Universal also plans to build new additional parking areas and new attractions at a regular basis in the future. Long Beach is California's 5th largest city and 3rd largest port in the state. Its sandy fluff overlooks the 8-mile-long crescent-shaped beach of San Pedro Bay. From the shore, it stretches north to surround the oil derricks of Signal Hill. Long Beach is several towns in one: a seaside resort, a haven for elderly retired persons, and an industrial center, drawing its income from oil, shipping, and manufacturing motor cars, airplanes, and soap. Presently, Long Beach is also the home and final resting place of the mighty Queen Mary. On December the 9th, 1967, the Queen Mary was escorted by thousands of small craft to Pier J at Long Beach, where her conversion to her new career as a marine museum, hotel restaurant, shop tourist convention complex commenced. Queen Mary, being a British ship, continues all the regalia of British royal pomp and ceremony at periodic scheduling changing of the guard. We took time to observe and pay tribute. The Queen Mary was and still is the largest passenger ship afloat. She is paneled in 56 varieties of exotic woods. Her salons and 384 deluxe staterooms and 12 decks recall the opulence of an era when she was the Queen of the Atlantic, and perhaps the most memorable hotel on the Pacific coast. SAC members Ed and Ed greet each other aboard ship and try out their sea legs, then set off in pairs to explore all its floors and bars, while Ruth and Eileen search for tourist boutique shops. Eileen and Shirley observe the view from one of the decks while waiting for their husbands George and Ned to catch up. Wonder what these members are looking at. Ah, young romance. No romance here, only kissing cousins, Ed and Therese, while Ed watches positively and decides while aboard ship, why not be continental? with the approval of George and Eileen. The top deck of Queen Mary was now taken over by Michigan SAC members, avidly deciding when filming a sea skit. Positioning camera angles and actors together, Bob and Tony snap a few photos. Danny directs Ruth and Cliff, how they should greet each other with enthusiasm under watchful, critical scrutiny. Scene 2, take 2. Camera set and ready to go. George decides on a more macho love scene. Everyone ready on the set? Roll 'em. Camera, mark it, action. Gene and Ed were overwhelmed. They were being filmed from 4 cameras at 4 different angles. Before we realized it, the SAC convention was over. Meetings and seminars concluded, all the trophies awarded, delicious dinners digested, the company enjoyed, and now time to depart from our home by the sea aboard Queen Mary. Bon voyage, everyone, homeward bound. Till we meet again next year.